Alright everybody, welcome into This Time Gaming, and today's video, I'm going to talk about something along the line of what I've been talking about here all along. In the past couple of videos, I've made videos based around things, and this is all going to come to one big point here with me, okay? Now, it led from this comment, these two comments I've gotten today, to something that happened throughout this week earlier, and I'm gonna bring this all into perspective as to why this is all just blending together, and this is why people are just drastically confused because we're having trouble understanding something here in America, and it's really getting out of control, and I need to bring it up. I need to bring it forward. So let's just get into this and go into all this information I have. All right. So here we have a point of the Bible. I have to bring this up before I dig into this. This was God's way of stating he didn't like homosexuality. He didn't like sin at all, okay? These angels went to earth and they saw the city of Gomorrah, and Sodom and Gomorrah was like really infested with all sorts of like, you know, sin and all that stuff. So God sent these angels to earth, and the angels were keeping an eye on Lot and his family. Now, the way this story goes is there was a man that knocked on the door. As everybody surrounded the house, he's like, I want to have sex with those men in the house. And the angels heard that. And the angels did not like that. So they locked the door. So Lot locked the door. They got pulled him back in. And the angels were like, you need to take off from here because this is out of hand. We're about to wipe this place out. Get out of here. So that's the main basis of this story. And the whole city entirely exploded and blew up. And I'm not going to go into Bible stuff here, but there's a reason I brought this up. So now we're going to dig a bit deeper as to what it is I'm getting at with this. Now, if we go over to my channel here, there are two videos which this guy that I made, this guy like really just commented on this, and he commented on my Scott Pilgrim video. All right. So let's dig in to why I'm bringing this up, and then I'll go in even deeper as to why. So the first comment I'm going to look at with you guys was the first comment he put up here, and then we're going to break down why he's wrong here. He's wrong, first of all. That's something that I'll even point out, because Ramona in the story basically said at the end it was a fad that she wanted to experience and see if she liked it, and at the end she did not like it. She openly admitted to that. So right here, if you're in a Scott Pilgrim, I don't understand how you have such a strong feeling about anime and manga. Scott Pilgrim is the epitome of everything you dislike. Ramona Flowers literally was pansexual, and it was a huge part of the story. I'm taking the time to watch your vids as we have the same interest minus manga and anime. And I'm curious on your thoughts. I like your energy, man. It's cool. You have good intentions, but your take on anime and manga is just way out of touch and ill-informed. Okay, so I went over this. I went over this a few days ago. Why anime is bad and why it's not out of touch. Now, you see how he said this here. Ramona Flowers. Oh, all right. Ramona Flowers was pansexual. Hence, again, let me outline it. Was pansexual. Okay, what is pansexual? We'll look this up in a minute. This is just a made-up sexuality, and I don't know what it even means, and I will go over that. But anime is pushing that onto us, and we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into why anime is just very destructive to Americans, and why I'm disagreeing with it, and why, as I read the Bible, I'm learning why more and more I don't like it. So let's go to the second comment he put up. I'm not gonna put what I said to him because it wasn't bad. It's just I don't really want to read it. All right. Batman is literally an average guy who gets rich and puts on a suit and becomes big. It's the epitome. It's the epitome of the male power fantasy. Your opinion is half thought out, my friend. What's half thought out about it? What? So the fact that big guys are in America. This is where the problem lies. Okay, this person is saying stuff here that literally they're 100% wrong. And the reason they're 100% wrong is because if you look at my thumbnail is the exact example as to why anime has produced a problem with us. Okay, Batman. Okay, Batman and Captain America are big American men. Okay, Asian men are small builds, and they normally aren't as big as American men. So I keep bringing this topic up to the surface, and everybody keeps fighting me with it. But so now, this goes along the lines of why I have a huge problem with anime in general, and I'm not going to change my perspective on it just because somebody's out there telling me how to feel. Okay, first of all, how I feel about stuff should not be corrected. I'm allowed to feel that way about stuff. If I don't like something, it's not bad. It's just I disagree with it. This is the first time I've ever experienced somebody coming to my stuff and telling me I'm wrong about how I feel. This is the why Americans are the way they are. We're telling each other how to feel, how to do things. I give people a little suggestion as to, pay attention. I'm suspicious of this person, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I say that kind of stuff because it's a suspicion. It's not telling anybody how to feel. It's just a full-on suspicion. Now, if we go to a video from the other day from Melonie Mac, which we'll look at here, I'm gonna break that down for you and explain why what this guy's thinking about pansexuality is just completely false. And this whole thing about these really skinny guys, this kind of promotes the idea of what transgender is, because a man, a man that's like Batman and Captain America are real men. They're real men. They're built that way. But we got a whole bunch of the LGBTQ here coming in and trying to claim their man, and then just ruining everything for average Americans. So let me get into the next part of this video and break even more down as to why I feel the way I do about things. Alright, so I have my face up for this so you guys can see exactly how I feel about this whole subject. But she got banned from Twitch over saying this here, and I don't see a problem with this. She was just expressing how she feels. The internet has turned into this place where you cannot express how you feel. And I'm suspicious if somebody close to her reported her or what's going on, because unfortunately, I like watching her. It sucks she can't even stream. It's just basically, it kind of, in general, sucks because she was just doing her job and that kind of stuff. For somebody to go out of their way and report her is just, it's very low for somebody, especially when somebody is not doing anything. This has become a big problem on the internet, but let's just break down what she says here.
That sin is not an identity. And LGBT is not an identity. It's not
Amen.
real.
Amen.
It is all sin that goes against God's design. So society has called this sin an identity to normalize it. Andrew Rob, thank you so much. 10 gifted cake subs. Thank you. But yeah, the concept of sexualities isn't real. There is what God designed, which is a husband and a wife, and then there's sin. That is it. The whole notion and concept of, oh, everybody has different sexualities, that was designed to normalize sin. And that's also a slippery slope. Because of pervs out there who... I have to be careful with how I phrase things because of, social media censorship, YouTube censorship. But just think about it. People can, whenever this whole idea of, oh yeah, there's different sexualities, well, that's a big umbrella term, and people can apply that to worse and worse things, like unspeakable things. Let's just say for the purpose of YouTube, I'll just say like animals, for example. People can say, well, that's my sexuality, like they're attracted to dogs like that, or something gross, right? So that's why I don't know, just hit me today.
Alright, so the rest of it, she's explaining the feeling that what God does when he puts a thought into you and you really, really need to express it. It's a way of God's speaking to us and leading us in two directions. Now, I agree with everything she says here because I have been harassed by these people myself, and it's because I don't agree with anything they're doing. And they try to throw this into everybody, and let's just go into the next step of what I'm getting at, and then I'll explain why I'm really getting on this topic right now. And it's not just because it hurts, for other reasons. Alright, so now I'm going to do something for you guys, and we're going to show you guys stuff, or something here, that really, really is interesting. So, look at this. This is insane. How many sexualities are there? And remember, this is all made up. This is stuff that, even God didn't make up. This is us making it up. So, alright. Alright. So, there's these, 5, which is insane. And then you got the rest. So, like, right here. What are 15 sexualities? Okay, why are there 15? These are all made up, okay? The only one that actually exists is heterosexual, no offense, but this is just insane how this has been taken out of control. Why is number 1 gay? Shouldn't number 1 be the heterosexuality? Shouldn't number 1 be heterosexuality? Gay is not number 1. Gay was not created first. I don't understand why that's normal. Why they're putting that as number 1. Just saying that this bothers me. Okay, so let's scroll down. Lesbian, bisexual, queer, asexual, a romantic, heterosexual, number 7. Are you serious? You're going to put the main source of sexuality at number 7, which has been the original sexuality all along. Androsexual, genus sexual, and it's all based around the same bicurious, demisexual, polyamorous, scilosexual, pansexual, omnisexual, and it just, there shouldn't be that many. There really is not that many. All of these are made up, besides heterosexual. And the reason they're all made up besides heterosexual is because a man and a woman are supposed to be the only ones doing this. Now, let's get back to the big screen and break more of this down for you guys with my face. Alright, so I already know that this video might offend people, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But to clarify, this also stems from anime. I already brought this up in a previous video, but I'll go and check it out again for you guys. Heterosexual is the only one that should exist. It's because a man and a woman are the only ones able to create a human life. No other sexuality is built to create a human life. All of them are just confused. All of them are just based out of confusion. That's why people accept them as okay that are part of this LGBTQ or whatever it is. And it's wild because they get so furious when you do something that describes that it's fake to them. Take notice how everything that is not real is usually bad in the Bible. Alright, everything that's not real is usually bad. A made-up concept of something formulating back to a belief sometimes. Or a made-up concept of something you can believe in something. Most people would argue with me that they think the Bible is fake, it's false, all that nonsense. But the Bible is not fake. The Bible is real to me, and I've had experiences with God myself, and that's unexplainable, but it's real. Some people tell me I have schizophrenia, and I'm perfectly fine with knowing that. I'm perfectly fine with being insulted that way, because you know what? I don't really care. But when when you look at the belief structures of other beliefs, like Buddhism, all right, or Taoism, or any sort of ism, or any sort of other belief, they're all constructed of another belief structure of one false god normally, and then there's that coexisting thing, which leads to this god, our god, but now everybody's just mixed up and confused, and there isn't only one way to get close to that god, and it's Christianity. All right. That's why, when it comes down to it, even in the Bible states that men and women were the first ones created. And men and women created children, and those children went on And and then once I read off to you Sodom and Gomorrah, it should really stuck out to you as to why homosexuality is bad, that it is a made up concept, because you're not creating a human life out of that. If you're having sex with a man, there's a lot of problems there. I'm not going to go into those. You can look them up yourself. I looked them up. There's a lot of things that stem from homosexuality and things as such. Very, very bad sicknesses. Okay, I'm not going to go into what they are because I don't want to talk too much about it. But it leads down to that slope of that's why it's bad, because it ends up being sicknesses that you don't want, and then you can't create children, things like that. So this is just something to think about. Now, the reason I'm against anime here is because of a particular reason I'm talking about here today. So let's go back into why anime is something I'm disagreeing with, and people fight me for this one as well. So let's take a look at this. Now, there are a lot of people that actually fight me on this, and unfortunately, this is a thing that people don't want to believe. But I watched a short over on YouTube about this. All right, so basically, it says here, and this is why I made this connection. Manga and anime have featured male and female same-sex relationships since the 1960s. Even Sailor Moon and Sailor Neptune and the super close cousins Western audiences grew to love appeared as gay lovers in the original Japanese version of Sailor Moon. So this has become a bit of another problem latched on to the community of people that are causing a big problem here in America. And and this is why it's destroying this country and everything. And this is why I'm sort of against anime right now. And people will argue tooth and nail against this. But again, this leads back to the ideas and examples of why I have a problem with anime, or why I have a problem with this stuff in general. It comes down to the factor of, pointing this out here where this has to be said, and people are arguing with me about this. So let me go back to the big screen and do my outro for this. I hope. All right. So now, when you break it down and look at it, you see exactly why I'm against anime. Anime has betrayed us. Anime has seeped into us. Okay. There's a woman I follow over on Facebook who even states that, like, demons and Satan can get into your life the really easiest ways, by the littlest stuff, and you don't even realize it. And the reason I have a problem with anime is because in my Discord, there's a certain character, I'm not going to say who, in the Discord I'm in, sending me pictures, lewd pictures of anime characters doing lewd things as a man and a man. And it's disgusting. It's something I don't want to see, and it makes me mad. It makes me angry, and I have to block everybody and go off on everybody, telling them to stop, because they just can't seem to understand. When somebody says stop to you, you follow it. You don't make it go to a whole new level where you think it's funny, because then people are gonna disband you and not be friends with you anymore. And no offense, I'm done. I'm done putting up with this, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see that. So when I reverse something back on you that you don't like, well, then you're like, well, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I can't take this anymore. Exactly the point. Exactly. So look at how you're handling self, and look in reverse of how you don't like what I'm putting up there, because you don't like the fact that I don't like what, just insane, and people do upset me with it, because it's like the first time I say stop, just listen, take it into consideration. It's not hard to understand a word, stop. It means do not go any further than this. That's what the definition of stop means. I don't know why I'm having to explain that to people. But there's a lack of definition, a lack of understanding, and it's just really, really hard for me to just explain, and I have to try to be nice. But it's like, people have a bit of a problem right now, not understanding stuff, and they go too far and they think this is okay. When reality of the truth is, like, it's going to lead people to their own demise when it comes down to it, and their own destruction. And then that'll be their fault. Unfortunately, I try to help people understand that sometimes your directions you choose are not the best directions for you. And, sit there and finally think about what you're doing to somebody, how somebody might feel about something or something as such. If I'm putting you on a block because you did something that I don't like, I want you guys to understand. Sometimes you may not, sometimes I may say things you don't like, but I have my reason to say things you don't like. It's not like I'm forcing anything on you that you don't want. It's just to give you a bit, it's just to give you a bit of an idea that, hey, this might be going on. Pay attention to what is being said. But no, pansexual, all those things, they don't exist. The only one that exists is heterosexual, and that's what needs to be understood. This is not making fun of anybody. This is to get people to repent for their sins and come back to the normal way of living. And we're too far gone. There was a movie based on this that the weird reality of it is it's actually playing out in this real world right now where people are getting bullied for being straight. It's insane. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but we really need to stop this. We really need to start understanding that this stuff is not real and how some things are just affecting us more and it's teaching us values that we should not be learning. You know, just take it into consideration. And with that said, guys, I'm out of here. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you next time. God bless.